Ola, get up here on your pattern, buddy. You know, there's no reason to do things twice if you don't need to. So like when you're doing this kind of like your basic warm-up exercises, then you might as well practice making a circle at the same time.
Yeah.
So, because otherwise you'll just be wandering around for 15 minutes while you warm up.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go and start to do this work.
But don't the horse get bored if we just go in the same round? It's just...
Well, the key is that...
Some change for him, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thought to have something different for the horse. But right now...
You just need to...
Yeah, we need to fix this for you first, yeah.
I know.
Because then you can get it over with.
Yeah.
Like when you first do this with older horses, the best thing is if you do this for 15 or 20 minutes and then go ride outside the rest of your riding time.
First the work and then you...
Yeah, and then you can go outside.
Yeah.
So otherwise, one thing that's important is that you understand is that when you do warm-up exercises where you go down there and do different stuff, you understand what you're doing. He doesn't. So they can't separate that. So for my own sake, I do the work directly that I'm going to do later on. Otherwise...
During the warm-up too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Continues to...
And then so like even when you're warming up, if he starts to look around, I turn him, and if he's like you doing, bending him, get him a little loosened up. So you do it all at once.
Okay. Yeah, I see your point.
That way you get your training session over with in a reasonable amount of time. Part of the reason that I've developed this program is obviously based on the fact that I have to ride 10 or 12 horses every day. So 5 minutes is a lot of time when you do it like that. That's an hour of time, if just 5 minutes. So if I did 15 minutes of something different,
then you have to start the work there.
then you got to do the work anyway, okay? And then the other thing that you want, the reason that it's important to work on the circle is because also the horse will learn to tell you, I'm ready. Because if you start to trot and he says, woo, this is easy, I could do this, then you just go on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So now you don't have a next thing. So then you do this and you be done, and then if you want to ride some more, you go outside. But after a little while, you'll be able to have enough work to work for an hour, okay?
What do you mean? I continue.
Yeah, you can just go this way, it's no problem. Try to soften your hands, there you go, good. Because what you'll feel is when you do this same work like this, is that if the horse is cooperating, you'll be able to feel it right away because he'll start to do like he's doing today, is he starts doing his job right away. So you already have more chance to focus on yourself. So relax your hands a little bit more. Now see, you chose to go to the easy side, so that's okay.
Yeah, for him.
Yeah. Well, I guess that would make it easier for you too, wouldn't it? Okay, now this is good on your circle, so let's just drop into a square. And make sure when you tell him to turn, you use your outside hand. Very good. Super. And let him go straight there. And turn again. Good. Relax your hands. Excelente. Go back on your circle now. There you go. Okay. Now here I would start to ask myself if I could really be sure I could do this better, because I'd be looking for a place to stop here. Because this looks pretty good to me.
Should I stop then?
I would stop. There you see how it works.
Yeah, today
It's a different story. Now, Frida, you need to take one rein and tie it in a little bit because she's not trying hard enough now. So just take that inside rein and run it through the cinch ring and just tie it, not too tight though. Now, the reason that I do it like this is because, see, you can already see, hey, I'm way ahead of where I was yesterday already. Yeah. Now, what we're talking about to the other guys is that one of the signs for you as a rider that you're having success is when you start to ride, each session, you should start where you left off yesterday, okay? So you shouldn't have that feeling of wandering, of starting over again. It should just be like, so you build like that, and then what happens actually is you do that, either each day you can ride a little less or you can add more work in because you get through the basics beforehand. So that's why I said not to spend 15 minutes doing that, because you might be able to be done with everything in 15 minutes. Now my goal, of course, as a trainer is to get the most results in the least amount of time and effort. And as a hobby rider, that's not necessarily your starting goal, but that should be your goal. Yeah. Okay? My idea all the time is more money, less work. Because you have to take into consideration that the horse is learning at the same time. So it's a little different deal with this. And
I participate and I make a difference between the warm-up and then the work, but for the horse it's the same.
It's the same thing, yeah, exactly. So that you, and what you're looking for here is that you want to do as little warm-up as necessary, or you can put it another way, as a high level of warm-up as you can. I define a warm-up exercise as anything that you and the horse can do together comfortably. So like my older horses, I trot 10 steps so I can make sure that they're sound, and then I start to lope, so we do all the warm-up at a gallop.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that's the same, you probably played sports, I played sports. Yeah. You remember, you never did the proper stretching or anything like that. You just took off and did, especially our age. You know, today maybe they do more, but when I was a kid, when I played sports, you touched your toes twice and off you went. Yeah. And also you think of kids going out to recess and stuff like that. Have you ever seen a kid on the playground pull a muscle? No, exactly. So some of the concepts of warm-up, I don't agree with 100%. Now, obviously we don't want to start running and stopping 100 times first thing, but so, and the other thing that's different a little bit for us here in Europe is our horses are outside so much. Yeah. So that they're getting the movement that they need to have their joint fluid going and stuff like that. Okay, let's turn around and try the other side. Yep. Now on this side we had a little problems yesterday because as you notice that he's a little stiffer in the right-hand side of his face. So today we're going to address that a little bit. But again, first we want to just start out trotting and see if he's going to follow the pattern and if he's listening to your voice and your body language. And as soon as you get a couple circles where it's nice, then you can go ahead and go into your square.